So this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. What you just saw right there, me stopping a video of the S Pen, it's about one of maybe 2 or 3 features that separates the Note 9 with the Galaxy S9 Plus. But the Galaxy S9 Plus right now, it's like $200 to $300 US cheaper. So why is it that when I'm watching YouTube videos or read US tech reviews, reviewers are gushing about this phone and saying people should buy it? I don't get it. I'm not saying the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is a bad phone. Far from it. It's a very good phone. Maybe the best right now. It's got a very good camera, one of the top 2 or 3 cameras, the best display in the industry, the newest Qualcomm chipset possible right now, and just a kind of overall really solid, good build quality. But the thing is, I can say the exact same thing about the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and this phone is like $200-300 cheaper. So now I understand why reviewers, they can gush about the Note 9 because they didn't buy the phone. So when you're given this phone for free, you're able to judge it in a vacuum. And in a vacuum, this phone ticks every box and you're not going to have much complaints with it. But you have to look at it from the eyes of the consumer. So you look at it from a consumer. If you are a loyal Samsung fan and you already have the S9 Plus, is it worth spending $1,000 or $1,200 to upgrade to this? The answer is probably not, unless you really need the stylus, or if you find the battery life on the S9 Plus really frustratingly bad. I highly doubt there are many people out there who feel that way because it's 2018. Don't everyone have a portable battery pack? At least everyone in major cities like Hong Kong and New York does. So if my battery's low in the middle of the day, I just plug it in for like 20 minutes and the problem's solved. Now, I'm not saying better battery life, it's not necessary. It's great, but that alone, it's not worth the $1,000. So conversely, if you have a OnePlus 6 right now, which is like what, $500, $550, is it worth paying double that to get this? Again, no, unless you really need the stylus. If you have a Huawei Mate 10 Pro, do you really need to get the Note 9? Are you going to get a major bump in performance? No. So once you look at everything in context, this phone, it's a incremental update that's not worth it. The thing is, reviewers know this too. They're just trying to kind of things that are too negative as Samsung, because the reality is Samsung is saving all the big innovations for the S10. Everybody knows this within the industry. The Samsung Galaxy S10, which will probably be announced at MWC next year, it's going to have a triple camera setup on the back, and the front it's going to be more bezel-less, and it's going to have a fingerprint reader on the front and probably some type of face scanning technology too. So it's basically going to be like a Vivo Nex, but a little bit better, and probably won't have a pop-up camera. Samsung will probably come up with something a little bit more practical. So the S10, it's going to be awesome, and that phone is only 6 months away. Samsung is holding back with this phone. This is like the iPhone 8 when Apple basically pumped out something that's like an incremental update because they know the iPhone 10 is where the true innovations are. And if you factor all that in, you factor the high price of this, you can't give Samsung a pass for that. You have to criticize them a little bit. Why does this phone need to be released? Just because Samsung needs to meet a cycle, because if you don't release a phone like in a cycle, then your sales go down. I mean, really, if you have a Note 8 right now, there's very little reason to get this unless the Note 8 battery life drives you crazy. I mean, what are the extra features? Let's go over them really quick. So other than the bump in RAM, and the 8 gig one costs a lot more, by the way. So bump in RAM, and then the remote control S Pen, which could be useful, but I mean, is it really like a make or break feature? Not really. And then there's a new cooling system inside a phone that makes gaming better. Like, really? Everyone out there who's played games on a Samsung Galaxy S9 or Note 8, have you ever play games on it and be like, oh, this phone gets too hot, performance is really sluggish now, I wish the phone was better? No, these phones handle games fine. So why do I need this to be, so what, it's a little bit cooler by what, like 2 degrees or something? Does that really matter? It's not like the S9, it's not like if I play Fortnite on S9 Plus is gonna burn my hand, right? It's not like the game's gonna slow down because like it's heating up. The displays are exactly the same. And the 2 most important things in smartphones right now, display and camera, the Note 9, it's exactly the same as a phone that's already been out for half a year that's $200-300 cheaper. You have to factor that in when you're looking at it from the consumer point of view. And you're looking at it from the consumer point of view, You'd have to be really crazy to want to buy this if you already have this. Or even if you don't have this and you have the Note 8 or the S8 and you're on the market for a phone, you could consider getting this for a little bit cheaper. Like, why do you need to spend $1,000 or $1,200 on this phone? Now, if you're a diehard fan of the Note series, and I know there are a lot of you out there and you're probably already either shut off my video and blocked me, unsubscribed me, or writing angry comments or not pissed off with me, then okay, you might justify you can buy the Note 9 over the S9 Plus because you need that S Pen. And okay, the S Pen, you can do some fun things with it, although I still think I personally don't need it day to day. And 95% of people out there don't need it day to day. And most reviewers even say they don't really use the S Pen. So if they don't use it too, how can they recommend the Note 9 over the S9 Plus? But anyway, back to you guys. If you really need the S Pen, then okay, you can justify buying this. But a Note 8 still gives you a pretty similar performance at a cheaper price. In fact, the Note 9 has a new addition that is terrible. Note 9 has a new version of Bixby, and Samsung has disabled the option to turn off the button. So if you press the button now, you go into Bixby every single time. That is freaking terrible because Bixby sucks. A lot of times I'm holding the phone like this, trying to take a picture. I'll accidentally click the Bixby one and then I'll jump into the stupid Bixby app and lose like a second of my life. On the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 or the Samsung Galaxy S9, which is still on the older version of Bixby, I'm able to press the button, you see, and it doesn't affect me because I've turned off the stupid Bixby button. Samsung taking away the option to let you disable the Bixby button. It's a complete slap in the face to every consumer out there because everybody hates Bixby. So yeah, that's my verdict of the Note 9. It's a very great phone in a vacuum. But if you look at the context and what's out on the market right now, a OnePlus 6 is $500. A Poco phone with a Snapdragon 845 is $300. In 6 months, you have the Samsung Galaxy S10, which will shit on this phone in terms of innovation and design. And you have the Huawei Mate 20 Pro coming out with triple cameras on the back and probably curved screens and all that. And then you have the S9 Plus that's a lot cheaper. Then I really can't justify buying this phone. You have to look at context, and once you factor in on the context, this phone is just not a good value, period. Thanks for watching.